Hi, Arlene. Okay, you want this type of toilet bowl clean?
Hi, Arlene.
Naomi, I see you're out of bed.
How are you today?
Hi, Naomi. Hi, Arlene.
It's
Hello there,
another
Carol.
day.
It's what?
It's another day.
That's right. And you're one day closer to being perfectly recovered
Right,
from your surgery.
right.
Every day is one day closer.
Yep.
How are you feeling today?
The weather is bad for me. I know it's gonna rain.
It's going to be worse tomorrow.
I know.
The humidity
sat
today and
outside.
rain tomorrow.
What was that, Carol?
I said the humidity was building today and the rain's coming tomorrow.
That's right.
Tonight, and tomorrow.
Well, that's okay because tomorrow I only have to go to work. So. Oh, here's Grandma.
Oh,
That's
Hi.
right, Grandma. Wow.
I know I got to spend the day with both of them again today.
You are
Hello,
the
Grandma.
luckiest lady, I'll tell you.
How
I
are you, Loretta?
am. That I am.
Are they both boys?
Both boys.
You've got mail.
Miles Kenneth and Ezra Jackson.
I like those names. Those are great names.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see. She's having a bris. Stephanie's having a bris on this weekend.
Nice.
And they won't talk about. I think I have an idea of who they name the baby after, but they won't talk about it to us. They won't.
Okay.
They're keeping it, close to the vest, which is, I think, nice.
That is nice. That's-
Appropriate, yes.
It
I
is.
think it's nice. So it'll be fun. It'll be nice. And Brian's parents are coming in from New York.
I just found out my neighbor's daughter, my neighbor who was, I think, 7 when I moved in, her daughter's getting married on next week. I'm
The
having a
neighbor-
hard time adjusting to that.
The neighbor was 7, well, her daughter was
No,
7.
but when I moved in, my neighbor, she was 7 years old. Her daughter's getting married next weekend. You remember Roz Nager?
Sure.
Her daughter Ellen. Ellen's daughter is getting married.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's hard for me to accept because I remember her when she was little.
Carol.
I know.
When you become the grandmother of somebody
I
else's
know.
grandchild,
I know.
it's very exciting.
I know.
Right.
I'm still adjusting to Harry's bar mitzvah, and he's going to be 14 in a couple of months.
Yes.
His bar mitzvah was almost a year ago. Crazy.
How wonderful to have simchas like that. to
It
share.
is. You gotta focus and concentrate on them.
Morty had a great aunt, a delightful little lady, and she lived from simcha to simcha. The first time I met her, she couldn't wait to see Morton under the chuppah, which
Yeah.
scared the daylights out of me. Then it was she wanted to see Morton have his first child. Then she wanted to see him in his own home. And there's a poem called The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, he lived his life in teaspoonfuls.
Right.
And what she would do was set a goal that was attainable. She wanted to see
Smart
him.
woman.
She got there. She wanted
She
to
was
see
a
him.
smart woman.
Yeah, she was.
Right.
I just want to get up tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Time you have to be over to that house.
I keep thinking about my brother-in-law's favorite comment. I'm vertical and taking nourishment. That's a good sign.
That's right.
I'm gonna be there at 10.
My brother used to say, I'm on this side of the grass. It's a good
Exactly.
day.
My father
we-
used to say-
we
my
had-
father used
what-
to look in the obituary and say, my name's not there, it's a good day.
Right. We got fortune cookies the other day with Jessie, and she got a fortune that said, she didn't understand it. The fortune said every day above ground is a bonus. We had to carefully explain what that meant.
Yeah.
Smart guys, those Chinese.
I know. Well, you got to think of the positives. Concentrate on that.
No matter how bad it is, it's like the silver lining in a cloud.
It is. It absolutely is.
You have to find some little element of humor or
You have to. If you don't, you have to laugh. No matter how bad things get with this, you have to laugh. So
that's right.
nothing else you can do.
That's why I always loved working with kids.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
your worst day, somebody could
Right.
be miserable,
Absolutely.
somebody could, that's why they always made you smile. There was
Absolutely
always some
right.
part in the day that made you smile.
Absolutely right.
Laverne, you don't have to wear your mask to the service.
Oh, I forgot I had it on. I know, and Caleb even came into me and said, is somebody coming over? Is that why you have your mask on? I said, no, nobody's coming. Oh, I forgot my mask. I
think
tie
I
it on for the
keep
day.
a mask in every pocket that I own of clothing that I own, so I always have it with me in case.
What are we going to do when we can go somewhere unmasked?
Half and half.
Such an interesting adventure.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Such part of our wardrobe now.
It is. It is. Pretty soon there'll be matching outfits. You'll be matching them to your
I was
outfit.
just going to say, I'm not Nancy Pelosi with a different mask for every outfit.
Yeah.
I have a friend out in Utah that has matching outfits for her masks.
Pardon me?
A friend in Utah that a friend of hers made her masks that would match her wardrobe for
Oh,
when she
please.
goes to work.
Hi.
I thought,
That's a
I don't need to
little
be that matchy. I'm good.
No, that's a little overboard for me.
Yeah.
Loretta, if you make her money, you'll be making your mask matches.
So I guess.
Maybe,
Yes,
maybe,
you're right,
yeah,
you're right.
Maybe I'm that, yeah.
Yeah, you
Very
don't
good,
make that
Lila.
money.
What do I know? I'm not working anymore. I just want to make my pants match my shirt and I'm good to go for the day.
And as long as the shoes match each other.
Well, my kids started virtual school in Virginia and New Jersey. So I sent them an email. I said, you could go to school in your pajamas. Who would know?
Hey, we could do the same thing, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
Where's
An
my,
article that
I
said
don't know
that they
where the
weren't
time
allowed
keeps
to do
going.
I
that.
hear her, but I don't see her.
where's my time announcer?
I'm right here, Rabbi,
Oh.
right here.
So it looks like 7. Do you think it's 7?
Yep.
Yes, I
it is
do,
right
Rabbi. Can you hear me,
on to
Rabbi?
my-
I can. Not as loud as you usually are. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at my volume. It's a little lower. Wait,
I'm
let me
here.
fix it. I'll be starting in a second.
Okay, Rabbi, it's 7 p.m.
It is.
I
Let me
gotta
just
figure
raise
out where
my
I am,
volume.
though. Yeah.
There we go. Well,
Okay.
welcome to Temple Ner Tamid's evening service. We'll start off with an abbreviated mincha service. We can say an extra one is Kaddish. Let me do this. There we go. Ashresh, and if I can ask you all to please mute. Ashresh vevetech odulachasel ashresh kaklom shnel havtila david ramim kolahai melech rabba chashim kalilam ved bechoyim avarchaka be'alashim kalilam ved. Gedolanai mihulam yod bilik dula toin cheke dodo shvach masel hugratek yagidu kadak vodatek v'divin nivlotek asicha bezuz nartek yemeu glakas aprana. Zecher rabtu kayibu b'tzit hakyaronenu. Chanun Rachmanai Erchmam Udal Chased Tovanai Lukov Rachma Vukomasav Dukam Savut Kod Malchut God Merk Portugal. So deal near Dam Gortam Fodam Malchut Tom Malchut Chamachut Kolomim Shaltkab Goldovador. So make nine Holland of them is okay called from a nay holiday experience Tanotan Hammer Clumbito Poter Decha Maspil Kol Chirot Son. Sadi can I be called the Rechav Chasid Vukomasav Krovana Kol Krova Kolache Krovimet. Returning of Yaseh, Vetshavat Tamas Rabbi Yoshem, Shomer Night Kol Hobab, 8 colors, Shemshmi, Tilatr Night WP, Viva Rekabas Hashem Kacholi Lamba Ed Vanat Nunava Rekyam, Yatavier Olam, hallelujah. In those saying Mourner's Kaddish, observing your side, feel free to open up your mics and we'll say it together. Yit Gadal, Yit Gadal, Shemei Rabba. The Alma Ra Utein Yamid Ma'ute Bechaye Chom Chom Ubechaye Chol Israel Ba'agala B'Islan Arif Yibru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Amen Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Ba'ar, Romam, Yid Hadar, Yitalem, Alal, Le'elam, Yirchata, Dush B'chata, Amen. Yehei Shalom V'chaim Aleinu Yokol Yisrael Amen. Osa Shalom Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Yokol Yisrael Amen. And now we get to our formal part of our evening service. And please join me. You can unmute your mics. It's appropriate to stand up. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. And if I could ask you all to mute up once again, thank you. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael haftal Torah mitzvot chulkim mishpatim otan limad tal kenen alehen b'shakmen v'kumen nasich b'chulkaka v'nesmach b'divrei Torah v'tzedakah li'om v'kihem chayenu v'yorach yameinu v'hem negei yamam b'layla v'avat tasim imenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Please join me with the Shema Yisrael. Feel free to unmute your microphones. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And please read mute. B'chol levavcha u'nafshcha b'chol meidach v'edur ma'el shanoch mitzam hayom ala levavecha v'shinan tam lemenach v'divatvam v'shivtcha b'beitecha v'leftcha b'derech shabcha v'kamecha oker shatam le'otal yedecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha v'shirecha והיה אם שמוע תשמעו המצותי שלכם מצווה אתכם יום לבא אתר נעליכם לעבדו בכל לבב כל נפשכם ונתתי בתעשכם ביותר מקוש ויספת דגנך בתירוסכם וצורך ונתתי עשם בשדך למתך ואכלת וזבת ישמעו לכם פן יבטל לבקם סתם ובדתם עליהם אחרים ושתגביתם להם וקרא אף ענה בכם ותשרום ליום אתה והאדמה לא תיתן עיבול ובדתם מהם על טוב אשר נתן לכם שמתם את דברי אלה על לבבכם נפשכם וקשרתם להיות על ידכם והחיילות בעיניכם ולימדתם אותם את בניכם במשיבתך בביתך ולדך בדרשתך בקומך וקטתם המזוזות בתך ושבך למען ירבו ימיכם וימי בניכם על אדמה שנשבע אדוני לאבותיכם לתת להם כמי השמיים על הארץ. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם יעשו להם ציצית על כתבי בגדיהם לדורותם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף ותלתכלת והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו וזה לטוב ואנחנו ישראל עמו ומלכים על כן וגולים וכף ורצים הואיל הנפל לנו מצרים משלם לגמול לכל אויבי נפשנו העושה גדול עד אין חקר לפלוט עד אין מספר השם נפשנו בכם לא נתן למות רגלינו המדריכים במות אויבינו ויום קרננו כל שוננו הנועז לנו ניסים ונקמנו בפרעה עוד תוסו מופתים ואדמת בניכם ומכה ברתו כל בחורים במצרים ויוצאנו מוישה בתוכם לחירות עולם עמד בבנם ישיר בים yet red famous him to tipa raul but of gibrato shipko bedul small Umalku Tobra contemplable more try that again Umalku Tobra ton kiblu aleihem Moshe v'nei shelachanu shirabasim charabav yamru chulam Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha neta b'kodesh Nora tehiloto sefele Malchut karuvanecha, bokeh yam lifnei Moshe ze'eli anuvi amru, Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed. V'ne'ema ki fada Adonai Yaakov, ugilom yet kazak mimeno baruch atah Adonai, go al Yisrael. You know, if you all want to join in with this on the top paragraph to read that together, feel free to unmute your mics. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, waken us again, our spirits to life. Spread over us the shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from evil,
enemies,
from temptation, Lord, and remove the evil forces that
surround us.
shelter us in the shadow of your wings. Watch us over us and deliver us, gracious and merciful ruler. At our coming and our going.
Grant us life and peace, now and always. Praise are you, Adonai, eternal guardian of your people Israel.
And if I could ask you to use your mic once again, please. And please mute your microphones. Thank you. Hashkibianu na leheno shalom ma'iden makeno chaim rosalim b'samlecha b'dakim tzolfanek m'shalom shmecha v'gebedinu similin evid dever chavar v'yavi b'asatam l'samo v'nemacharenu u'v'tzel knaf becha tastuen shemenu matzenu atav ki el malchanan rochamata u'shmo tzeitzenu v'oenu l'chaim v'shalom yatav yad olam baruch atah Adonai shomer amo Yisrael la'ad.
For thou art our protecting and saving God. Thou art indeed a gracious and merciful God.
Marvin, I think.
Guard our going out and our coming in for life and for peace, henceforth and forever. Take these forces away. That's in the
There we go. Sorry. Brooklyn Nilam Main Biamain, Brooklyn Shokain Shamler, Brooklyn Malhusa, Saint of Brooklyn Kodolami, Malay for colors, and Main Biamain. He for another Lama Smatter, Mama, Sabi, Shame and Rakmatalam, Kilo Yitosha, the Moba Bushma, Doki, Well, and also the Kalalam, the alcohol, Amia, Pluap, Naham, Yom, Adonai, Hula, him, Adonai, who held him behind, neither Makarats, by Yom, Pahu, Adonai, Kadishma, Khadi Kaskanal, and Country Kamula. V'shienu, Adonai Eloheinu, v'kabtzenu, v'yatzilenu, and please gather us and save us from all the other nations. L'adol Hashem katzek, to be able to thank you and say your holy name, l'shtabek v'latecha, and praise you in prayer. Kol goyim asher tiyavo sh'tikol v'nei, and pretty soon all of the other nations will bow down before you, v'chabdu l'shmek, and honor your name. Ki gadol atav yoseinu v'ladata Elohim levadecha, anachnu amcha v'tzon maritecha, no delech alilam, no delech, but lo tov v'don esapirti latecha. Baruch Adonai b'yom, Baruch Adonai b'layla, Baruch Adonai b'shaf beinu, Baruch Adonai b'kumenu, ki b'yadchem avterachem v'amitim asher v'yadon nefesh kol chai ruach kol b'sa ish, b'yadkav ki ruchi padita oti Adonai elamet, Eloheinu shabbat shemam yechid shemcha v'kaim malchuka tamid m'loch le'olam v'ed. Yeru einenu yismach libeinu, and joy in our hearts, v'tagi al nafshenu b'shuvatka be'amet, be'emet l'tzion melech elahach. Adonai melech, you are our king, Adonai malach, you were our king, Adonai yimloch le'olam v'ed, you'll be our king forever. Ki ha-malchut shelcha hi, u'lumei timloch b'chavod, ki ein lanu melech elad, baruch atah Adonai, ha-melech b'chvodo tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam v'ed, ve'al kol ma'asav. Yitkada v'yitkada shmei rabbah, v'yomad yirakutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayedecho bet Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv yimaru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach, ve'alam alamei omaya, yitborach v'yishtabach, Vidbar v'yitamam v'yitnaseh v'yithadav v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei kucha prichu le'elam min kovechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram b'yalma v'yimaru. Amen. And as I say every time, and Rabbi Perlman as well, this is the time for Amidah, silent meditation. In these particular words that we say has a whole bunch of prayers and requests from God, and hope that he gives us all of those blessings that we ask for. It's also a time for personal meditation too, if you decide you won't use your own words. So what I'll do is I'll say it in an undertone. It's appropriate time to stand up for this prayer as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'levoteinu, l'hei Avraham, l'hei Yitzchak, l'hei Yaakov, l'hei Sarah, l'hei Rivka, l'hei Rachel, l'hei Leah, ha'el hagidol ha'gibor v'yanora el yon gomer chasadim tovim v'konei Yaakov v'zocher chasdei avot, u'mevi goel l'bnei b'neihem l'man shmo v'yahava, melech ozer fokeinu moshiu magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham foket Sarah, tagibol l'lam Adonai mechemetum etarav l'otshiyah, mechalkel chayim b'chesed mechayim itim brachamim rabim, so make noflim b'rafekalim ativsrim, ומקיים אמונתו שני אף עמיכם בכל ברנקבות ומיתום הלחמל ומיתום חיה ומצמין כשוע ונאמנתה לחיות מיתם ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש קדושים בכל יום ילוך הסלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש אתה חונן לדם דעת ומלמד לנו בינה חייננו מיד כדיה בינה והשכבות כהני חונן הדעת השביענו ולתשובתך וכן מכן לעבודתך והחזרנו בשובה שלנו לפניך ובתכני הרצה בשובה סלח לנו אבינו forgive us our Father כי חטאנו because we have sinned מכל לנו מלכנו כי פשענו כי מוכר וסלח אתה בתכני חננו מה בלסלוח ראין יבינינו ריבה אבינו גלנו מהלך מביל חזקת בני גוי ישראל רפאנו נערפי הושיענו ושיע כי תלתנו אתה בהלך והושלם לחמיתנו send us a speedy recovery, shlema, full recovery, minashamayim from the sky, reforce and efforts of healing of the soul, reforce of go from healing of the body, lokalacholim, and everybody who is ill, and all of the viruses and the illnesses that we have no cure for, betoch shachol Israel, in the midst of all of a nation that's sick, who was sick in Israel, and B'kol ha'olam in all the world, b'chazei g'dehos kem b'tzarchem, ki em melch rofeinam rachman atabudor rofei cholei amo Yisrael. Baruch Aleinu Aleinu V'tashana Zot Bet Komeni Tvatel Tov V'tein Bracha Al Pnei Adama. Give us blessing on our land. V'savenu Matuv Avreich Naten Shnem Torah P'don Reich Hashnem. Tikavi Shofar Gedol Kevetenu V'san Neis Tikavetz Galu V'tenu Kaptenu Yachim Yabakan Fotar V'tzrami Kavi Sidke Moshe. Hashiv Shavten Gavashenu V'tenu Gavetkilu Hasam Yigonim Yanachom Lochlim V'ta'anai L'Barka B'Ches V'Rakmim Tzaddim Mishpat V'Don Melech V'Hei Tzedako Mishpat. Lamal Shino Matit Tifa, Clutch Gregor Toved, Clever Koretu, has the Mary Tanya Shabbat, my give attack to be a man, work on Shovel, Oid the Makni Azedem. Allah Tzadikim Yal Hasidim Yazek Yam Israel, well pledged to some round care, Tzedik Yalenu, Yamuna Rakmakanel Heno, Tain Sakatov, Holobotkim, Shimkum, Meskim, Mushel, attack the winner, Shanamuk, Tzadikim. You shall I make a Brahman Tushum Petition to Shilibato, and October Carabin, your men, Binyam, he say, David, no Tuck, whatever Shlam. At some time to come here, test me of a corner to short tech kills from Yom, this man can show Shma Kolenu, hear our voices in an Alehenu, God our Lord, Husrachim Alenu, the Kabil Brachman, please receive us in mercy, Braton at Philateno for our prayers. Kiel Shemet feels Tapno Mato, Mofanekamal Kenway Commission, Kieta Schmidt feels some Ketcho Brachman, Bukani Shomea Tefila. Blessed art thou, O Lord God, who hears prayer. Retsayer now hit about Khashra which will tell me a shape of all the baby tech which will tell me about Kibaratoni or Ton Tamid Abu Dajula Mecha Vetechas and a name but Shum Katsim Brachner Boktanai Amakazishkina Totzion Modem Anachnu Luck. We thank you. Shatahu and now Henry Levatano, little Lumba Ed Sochayan, you're our rock, Maganishin and our shield. Atahu the Dodo no Dalakanos Betoteka. Alchain Hamstrom Jacquelis Mate Hapudo Slack beyond these sets Shomi Mano, bound the Flotevaton Control 8 which ram a Totilu Halrachman. Kilo Tamkas Milam Krinola. Yalkulam Yitbrak Yitmam Shimkam Kano Tamid in Leved. Vechol HaChaim and all life Yaducha Selisha, thank you, be hallelujah, and praise your name in truth, Be'emet. Oeshu Atenu Zatenu Sela Baruch Atanai. Atupshim Chalachanu Alahodot. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amkab Kol Shvei Tevel Tasim Lilam Kiato Melchadon Kol Shalom. The Tobe Nachal Brekin Amakas Rabbi Cholet Kol Shem Shalom Rakbotan Rekin Amon Shalom. Hello, Highness Solution me Rose, but I'm in a memo and calling out Chichina, careful, open up our hearts to your Torah. We will mitzvah taking your commandments to Dofnashi. Chok Hashem Alai Rama Her Hatatam Kalkan Shabtam. Asalam and Shemecha, Salem and Yuminecha, Salem and Lushaseka, Salem and Jotakam and Deco Shimik Benani, Yula Raton Rafi, the Golden Vanekon Jericho Eli, and now we'll go down to this famous paragraph. If you want to join me, feel free to unmute your microphones. My God, keep my tongue from evil, my lips from lies, and help me ignore those who let me be humble before. Open my heart that I may pursue your mitzvah. Frustrate the evil against nothing of this. Act for the sake of your compassion, your power, my prayer for the deliverance of your people. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, my rock, my rock and my redeemer. Before we finish that last sentence in English, we'll sing "Oh Say Shalom" and then we'll finish it off in English. Oh, you feel free to say "Oh Say Shalom Dimruma, Oh Shalom Aleinu, V'Yavo Yisrael, V'Yimru Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ya'alko Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ya'alko Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ya'alko Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ya'alko Yisrael, Yimaru, Amen. May the one who brings peace to his universe bring peace to us and to all the people of Israel. Amen. And now we're going to do a prayer for those who aren't feeling so well. And you can leave your microphones unmuted. As when I pause, feel free to say a name to someone who needs some healing. Misha, Baruch, Avotenu, Avram, Joseph, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bring blessing and healing to
Jay Lerner,
Aaron
Aaron Escabeni,
David Shapiro,
Andrea Teitelbaum, Norman Zagorski, Austin McCaffrey,
and all those who suffer illness within our congregation family. May the Holy One mercifully restore them to health and vigor, granting them physical and spiritual well-being, together with all others who are ill. And we yet hope and pray that healing is at hand. And let us say amen.
Amen.
And if I could ask you to mute your microphones as I sing a prayer for healing. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say amen. And now, Kaddish Shalem, Yit Gadal Vit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, V'alma Divra Krute V'emlik Malchute, V'chaye Chone V'mechone V'chay D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv Yemaru, Amen, Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Li'alam Alam Me'omaya, Yit Barak V'yishtabak V'yidba V'yitramam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadav V'yitalev V'yitalav Shmei D'kucha B'richu, La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata dami ram b'yama v'yamaru amen. Titkabal tzloton uvuton d'chol Yisrael kadam avohon divishmai v'yamaru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al-koisha v'yamaru amen.
Amen.
O says shalom b'mroma v'uya says shalom aleinu v'al-koisha v'yamaru amen. Feel free to open up the mics and join me with the Aleinu, and it's appropriate to stand as we say thank you to the King of the world. Aleinu l'shabei ha'adon l'ateit kedula l'yot Shelo asanu tigei haratzon, Shelo samanu mishpachon ha'adama, Shelo samanu kahem, V'gor aleinu b'chol hamonam, Anachnu korim, Mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech hamalchim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Gehuno teshamayim v'yosei na'aretz, Moshe v'yikarov v'shamayim v'ra'al, U'shkinatu zol v'gavmei meromim, U'Eloheinu and Malkeinu Eloheinu, Shkatu Yisrael v'yadatayon, V'shegota el levavecha, Ki Adonai Elohim, B'shamayim v'ya'aretz, Okay, Nikabal Hanel, I'm here to Perzak Lahabi Gilum, Hartel, Corriton. The Takeno Lomba Moko Chileva Combine Basu Krishma, Lahavil, Kavsharish Kima, and Contino Kila Hatem Combent to Colosson, Lefanekana, and Yehru, we pull Lifushim Kai Kai, then we come local almost Mako Tekmatum Lamed, Kamokushahi, or Mertum, Mod Bechavon, Kakato Betora Tekad, and Nayan Lokle Lamava Ed Venema, Ayam. The Melech HaKoharet, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'Shema Echad, U'Shema Echad. And now those saying Mourner's Kaddish, if everybody could mute their microphones, except those saying Mourner's Kaddish. And if you are saying Mourner's Kaddish, feel free to say the name who you are saying Kaddish for.
George Kaplan.
Harriet Cohen. Sherman.
David Kaczynski.
Leonard Hillman.
And now please join me with the, was there another?
Albert Grissaber.
Okay.
Sorry, Albert Grissaber.
Okay. Please join me. I'll say it slowly so everybody can, we'll say it and try to do it in unison. Yit Gadal, Yit Gadash, Shemei Rabbah. Bi Alma, Ibra, Ute, Diamli, Malchute. Bechaye Kol, Yomei Kol, Ubechaye, Kol Beit Israel, Ba'agala, Ubizman, Ribu, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah, Bekorah, Leolam, Omei, Omar. Yit Barach, Yit Rabah, Yit Pa'ar, Yit Romam, Yit Naseh, Yit Hadar, Yit Halal, Yit Halal, Mei, Sharichu. Le'elam in Kol Birchata, Shirata, Tushata, Yakamata, Ta'amiran, Bi'alma, Yitru, Amen. Yehei, Shlama, Rabba, Bin, Hayam, Betayim, Kol Yisrael, Imru, Amen, Osed, Shalom, Imromam, Shalom, Aleinu, Bi'al Yisrael, Imru, Amen. If I could ask everybody to mute your microphones, please. I see David Sherman up there, so if you'd like to unmute your microphone, David, we can do this response, and I'll let you be the leader. How does that sound? And everybody else, please mute.
Sing with joy to God our strength. Shout with gladness to the God of Jacob.
Strike up a melody, sound the timbrel, play sweet tones on harp and lyre. Sound the shofar on the new moon, on the full moon for our festive day.
It is the law for the people Israel. The God of Jacob sits in judgment. God ordained it as a decree for Joseph when he rose against the land of Egypt.
Then I heard a voice I never knew. I removed the burden from your shoulder. Your hands were freed from the load.
When I called in distress, I rescued you. Unseen, I answered you in thunder. I tested your faith in the wilderness.
Hear this warning, my people, Israel, if you would only listen. You shall have no strange God among you, and you shall not worship an alien God.
I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of Egypt. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it.
But my people did not listen. Israel would have none of me. So I let them persist in their stubbornness, and I let them follow their own inclinations.
If only my people would listen to me. If the people Israel would walk in my ways, then would I soon subdue their foes and strike out at their oppressors.
Enemies of Adonai shall be humbled. Their downfall shall be unending.
But you would I feed with the richest of wheat. With honey from the rock would I satisfy you.
Misanei Adonai, yichachashulo, v'hi itam le'olam, yachileo michelav chita mitzvot devash atzviyaka. Thank you, nicely done. Before we do the morning's Kaddish, well, actually, we're not going to do the morning's Kaddish just yet. First, I'm going to ask my wife, Anita, to tell us how pleasurable it's been for her to spend holidays with me. So I'm going to push over a little bit and let her tell us a few minutes of what it was like, Anita.
I'm almost in the rabbi seat.
Well, if you sit in my lap, that's closer.
So I grew up with a very strong Jewish identity. Going to shul at Rosh Hashanah was a given. And we called it shul, not temple. It was shul. I too share the memories that others have of women upstairs and men downstairs. And I also remember sitting with Dad and Grandpa, squeezing in between them or getting on their laps because every seat was taken, and playing with the talit and listening to the murmuring of prayer. Growing up in Revere, we had at least 3 shuls to attend, and shul hopping with friends was a highlight. It seemed like everyone was walking to services and dressed in their holiday clothes, and family and friends everywhere, and the food and the chatter. And of course, you couldn't beat Tashlik at Revere Beach. There was this crazy informal tradition, and I only know it to happen in Revere, where the boys would chase the girls. They would take handkerchiefs and they would fill them with chestnuts that had fallen from all the chestnut trees. And they would swing them and run after the girls in a teasing, flirting way. the girls would scream and run into shul for shelter, only to be shushed and directed back outside by the congregants. And when I met the rabbi, the Horowitz home became the gathering place for family and friends alike. And we created our own new Jewish experiences and memories for our children and our grandchildren. In our home, Rosh Hashanah is the kickoff of the marathon of holidays that follow. And we do celebrate them all.
Thanks, Annie.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Wait, don't go away.
Oh, don't go away.
We're going to do this responsibly. It's the Psalm of the season, which we do. We begin on Elul and go all the way through to Hoshana Rabbah, which is right before Simchas Torah. I'll do Shmini Atzeret. But anyways, I'll let you take the lead. How does that sound?
Okay. A Psalm of David. Adonai is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? Adonai is the strength of my life. Whom shall I dread?
When evildoers draw near to slander me, when foes threaten, they stumble and fall. Though armies be arrayed against me, I have no fear. Though wars threaten, I remain steadfast in my faith.
One thing I ask of Adonai, for this I yearn, to dwell in the house of Adonai all the days of my life, to behold God's beauty, to pray in God's sanctuary.
Hiding me in his shrine, safe from peril, God will shelter me beyond the reach of disaster and raise my head high above my enemies.
I will bring God offerings with shouts of joy, singing, chanting, praise to Adonai.
Adonai, hear my voice when I call. Be gracious to me and answer. It is you whom I seek, says my heart. It is your presence that I seek, Adonai.
Do not hide from me. Do not reject your servant. You have always been my help. Do not abandon me. Forsake me not, my God of deliverance.
Though my father and my mother leave me, Adonai will care for me.
Teach me your way, Adonai. Guide me on the right path to confound my oppressors.
Do not abandon me to the will of my foes, for false witnesses have risen against me, purveyors of malice and lies.
Yet I have faith that I shall surely see Adonai's goodness in the land of the living. Hope in Adonai, be strong, take courage, and hope in Adonai.
Lule hamanti l'ropa tuvan and aberetz kayim kavei al Adonai chazak yametz libecha v'kavei al Adonai. And now it's again those saying Mourner's Kaddish. Let me see if I can get it back for you. There we go. Please feel free to open your mics for the Mourner's Kaddish, for those of you who are saying it. Yit gadal v'yit gadash shemei rabba. V'alma dira kirutei v'yamid malchutei. V'chayecho u'yomechon u'v'chaye yechol beit Yisrael v'hagala u'man karim yemru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'me'omayim. Yitbarach, Yishua, Yitpa'ah, Yitromam, Yitnaseh. Yit Hadar, Yit Aleh, Yit Halal, Amen, Kushacharim, Le'elam, Yitol, Birkat, Vishivata, Tush Bechata, V'nechemata, Ta'amiram, Kalmam, Yevru, Amen. Hey, Mama, Rabba, Bit Shemaya, Bechaim, Aleinu, Alko, Yisrael, Yivru, Amen. Oseh, Shalom, Yiromam, Uya, Aleinu, Alko, Yisrael, Yivru, Amen. And now for a little spirit to get us into the holiday. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate that. It really does kind of give you spooks. I have a shofar in my house and I sound it in the morning. I don't know what my neighbors are thinking, but it really gives you some goosebumps, I have to say. So with that, let's see. Adele, there we go. I think Adele's here.
I am here.
Oh, okay. Feel free to say some announcements.
Okay, so I'm thinking we have one of those the big shofar like that Dr. Newton is blowing. So one year when Eric went to Israel, he brought it home with him. He got it in Israel, and so maybe I should practice it and see if I can do it. So I don't know.
I don't think so.
Thank you, Rabbi Bernie, for leading us in services, and Anita, thank you for telling us all about Revere. It sounds so much like Chelsea. It's amazing. But we did not have boys like that did that to the girls. You know, those AZA boys were just so much nicer. Anyway, Just remember, services are Sunday through Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. Friday night, which will begin our 26th week on Zoom. Services will be at 8 o'clock and Saturday morning at 9:30. And Slichot services begin at 7:45 on Saturday. Rosh Hashanah is the week after, and so there'll be different times of services. So we will let you know about that next week. And don't forget about tzedakah.
Thank you so much. We do, I can't hang out till I give just for a couple of minutes if you want to chat with each other, but we have another meeting in about 10 minutes. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes to talk to each other.
I just have to say, Anita, those chestnuts were also in Dorchester. They traveled well.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't happen in Malden. They didn't have chestnuts in Malden.
Harold, it didn't happen in Chelsea either, right?
There's no trees in Chelsea.
That's pretty funny. I for some reason Passover, I remember there was some nuts and things and
That's
We're not talking about people.
yeah. Well, anyways, folks, I'm going to leave now, and thank you all.
Thank you, Bernie.
Night.
Night, everyone.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. Be
Good night,
well.
everyone.